focusing on my spin on spirituality. I've been thinking about this stuff probably too much. If you can't explain it simply, then you don't understand it. So this is my best attempt at trying to explain spirituality. You've heard of chakras, and different cultures describe this differently, but here's the quick version. Fear makes us hunch our shoulders and pulls our consciousness, a certain way. Love opens that up. So that's a chakra. If you picture our spine and us trying to centre ourselves, on one side is fear, on the other side is love. And each chakra corresponds to different feelings and emotions, and very hard to describe the different feelings. But we have to begin with joy. This is how you start the car. At your solar plexus, with joy. So here, crying closes this, that's on one side. Laughing opens it. It's your first breath. It's an open diaphragm when you're born. So that starts with joy. Anytime you laugh, it kicks start the car and gets everything moving, gets the electrical system running. I've had to have a lot of coffee to make this video, so I'm a bit amped up, I'm sorry. I don't share, I find it difficult to share. I'm a bit shy. So, I'm trying to break it down slowly. So it starts with joy. Below that is the body, and deals with physical things. Like first you've got gluttony, food, desire, sex, procreation, and then the perineum is just that ultimate connection with earth. We'll come back to that. And then above you've got spiritual, which is emotional. You've got love and fear and insecurities we hold here. They call it the throat chakra, and it's not just about your ability to communicate, that you have a voice, that you're not shut down and you don't have the right to speak. It's also about listening and hearing, so that you're saying the right thing and responding correctly, and it's this fine balance. It also deals with confidence and ego. And then you've got up here third eye, or I describe this as thinking and projecting all these images and possible potential outcomes that can happen in life. Or you turn that off and you go the other way, and that's the dreaming state, when there's a movie being shown to you that's rather radical and creative and needs to be interpreted quite difficultly. But see, either projecting forward or you're listening, and this creation can come and flow into your mind. And then I suppose above that's just the same energy, where that energy comes into our mind. So starting in the middle with joy and that first breath and life, and from there it's above and below. You have to balance each of these places between overeating until your stomach's all relaxed and your back arches in, all these muscles relax. That's gluttony. And desire. It's like on your toes and you're chasing something your entire life, as opposed to sitting on your heels like you're riding the wave, that you finally realise there's a wave to catch, and when you sit back and wait a minute, you catch the wave and you realise that that's the time now. Ride the wave. We don't have to chase anything anymore. Ride the wave. Another component of this, sorry, this video is so jumpy, but another component of this, that all the old psychologists, Jung, and I think they describe it as willpower, and it's quite a separate thing. It's called Kundalini in India, Chi, Hara in Japan, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Grail comes into it, of weird interpretations. It's so hard to describe. That's why everyone's stories are so diverse. All these physical reactions that we hold, if you've got fear, you're tense in the back. When you're not full of fear and you're just full of love and you accept everything, everything relaxes in your body. So the healing component of this is incredible. These tensions that we hold are what creates so much of illness. Creates inflammation because things can't flow. And so, placebos, if doctors could describe placebos and their ability to heal pretty much anything randomly, we know the body's got the ability to heal itself. The how, why, science can figure that out. Old science had figured it out, and they've tried to describe it in all these different ways, but been too focused on chemicals, the medical profession. Even though the medical symbol is that Egyptian symbol of two snakes with wings coming out, and there's a sword or a shaft down the middle. That is the balancing of these two energies. You've got this masculine energy that's this push forward, and it's the fight and power, and it's like this fire of drive that helps you kill a bear to protect your family. It's a wonderful gift if it's directed in the right way, and that's where this soft feminine energy is of feeling and thinking of loved ones or sadness. There's no words, there's no thinking, there's no communicating of anything else. You're just here at emotion. Now, this is the journey of the soul where it gets rather complicated. And I don't understand it enough to describe it. But a lot of the old books describe it, but here I go. So basically your energy's travelling up and down your spine on a daily basis, minute by minute, cycles within cycles. Everything's wobble within a wobble, depends how far back your perspective is. So this energy's, it's 2.5 days. There's a big component of this as it travels through each of these 7 major cycles and parts of the body. Some cultures describe 3. In Chinese it's the middle, you've got a lower and an upper energy, but you can add another couple in there in between, and then you get the 7. Chakras, they've been called temples, gods. You can associate them with vibrations, like something really deep and lowers down in the belly, and it helps vibrate this part of your spine. And the higher stuff is you bring it up and clear through the top of your head, and that's quite high pitched and nasally, and it's incredible using the vibration of voice to help stimulate this. Chanting's incredible, and rhythmic breathing is the panting between the two, trying to create balance. I'm describing this horribly. So, if you've got too much fear, you hunch over here. You need to balance it out with love. You need to balance out joy with... So, crying closes this. Literally, it squeezes all the muscles and they all tense up, which relieves your back. It's called reciprocal something, the way that muscles talk to each other in opposition. So whatever happens here relaxes here. Fill up your chest and your back will relax. Something is full, like here, something is empty under here. If this is all tight and full in your lower back, it's empty. You've got to connect to all these muscles and do a fast. And I hope this very quick, rushed, amped up on caffeine version helps explain a couple of the chakras and the spirituality part of connecting to your body, balancing out these points. Our soul is meant to bounce, to explore life. It has to be a little bit arrogant. You have a few beers and you say a bit too much. and then the next day you're a little bit insecure because you can't think of what you said. And we live and find the rhythm, and hopefully we're somewhere in the middle. We explore life, and our soul doesn't care about what it takes to make you experience fear. It will create a fear that will help you develop willpower to overcome that and give yourself some self-love. And the willpower thing, and back to that, too scattered. The willpower and Kundalini, connecting with that, there's muscles in the abdomen that are really difficult to connect with, and it's when you balance the front and the back. This is really hard to feel, but it's in the same way with sex and an orgasm, of pushing one energy forward until the second energy is triggered, and then all of a sudden you're in sync and orgasm. And you've got to do the same thing at each point in your body and up, all the way up your spine. They awaken these muscles. You can do it blissfully by tensing and work with your fear and overcome it and feel love and build that energy up and relax it. There's tense release. It's not all gentle. You have to have willpower and the ability to kill a bear, to push this energy around and submit to it. And the relaxation that happens in your body allows this overwhelming warmth to flow from, if you tense it up right, and your body works like pumps, where it pumps its way up, and you can bring it right up using rhythmic breathing or dancing. Obviously every culture's used it to try and help harness this energy, and bringing that energy up, and when it hits your pineal gland and DMT comes down and you see light and all the other crazy shit, then you'll be telling stories, weird stories about this stuff too. But it's intense. It's not easy. It's really, really not easy. It's confronting when you recognise your own bullshit and go, oh my God, I'm being, a little bit, not arrogant, but a little bit cocky today, and I'm trying to gain confidence. Don't beat yourself up over it. I'm trying to make a bloody video that I'm very reluctantly trying to share. Or you're really insecure. Like, we need to explore these things. Our soul, doesn't matter how old you are, your soul is a child. It just wants to develop stuff. Excuse me.